Why he do that to me, he ain't opened his mouth. Not much word about the movement reach us in Louisville. Even if you had a little radio by nighttime, you're too tired to listen to the news. Time just passed. In the spring we plant the cotton, in the fall we pick it. Nothing seems to change except the season. Then, in 1962, a mass meeting was held at our church. SNCC and SCLC leaders say, if anything was going to change in Mississippi, we would have to go to Indianola and register to vote. I was 44 years old, and this what I've been waiting for all my life. Gonna register to vote. I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna register to vote. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna register to vote. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. In Indianola, white folks was outside in cowboy boots and hats with guns and bad dogs. Inside, they say we gotta explain one of the 286 sections of the Mississippi State Constitution before we could register. All 18 of us failed. Driving home, we was pulled over, arrested, and fined $100 because our bus was too yellow. When I finally got home, Mr. Marlowe was in a snap. You go, take it back or leave. We're not ready for this in Mississippi. I say, Mr. Marlowe, I ain't go to register for you. I went for myself. I left that night. 16 shots was fired into the home of friends what took me in. Meanwhile, things was heating up at the University of Mississippi, the pride of the state. Ross Barnett vowed, no Negro will ever be admitted into Ole Miss while I am your governor. President Kennedy ordered in 34,000 federal marshals. By morning, 160 folks was hurt, 2 was dead, and Jane Meredith was registered as the first African American at the University of Mississippi. Oh, beautiful for pilgrims' feet who stern impassioned stress, a thoroughfare for freedom's beat across the wilderness. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. I went back to Louisville as a field secretary for SNCC, organizing day and night. Pap done been fired from his job after 30 years and arrested by the $9,000 water bill when we ain't even had running water. We lost our house, furniture, and car. Would nobody give us work. All this just for wanting to vote. I went back to Indianola and told that clique, You gonna see me every 30 days till I pass. SNCC done brought some hope to Mississippi. Summer 1963, 6,000 school children started freedom marches in Birmingham. The world saw them being knocked down by powerful jets of water from firemen hose, being attacked by ferocious dogs, all ordered by Bull Connor. Local businessmen, afraid about losing money, called for lunch counter and restroom desegregation in 90 days. We was arrested in Winona, coming back from a voter registration workshop. Oh, they called me way out my name. Said they was gonna make me wish I was dead. They told 2 prisoners. I could hear the licks and screams. They took Miss Arnell Ponder first and then Miss June Johnson. I could hear the licks and screams. Then they came for me. They carried me out that cell, had me lay face down on this bunk bed. They told 2 prisoners, 2 black prisoners, if you don't beat them, you know what we want to do to you. The first one beat me with a blackjack till he give out. Then the second one took over while the first one hold my legs. I started to work my feet and they make him sit on them. I was trying to protect my left side because I had polio when I was 6 years old. I tried to smooth down my dress. That patrolman pulled it up over my head. It was so horrible, I couldn't stop screaming. A white man started beating me in my head. Hush up, nigga! They beat me so long, my skin turned black and hard like cowhide. So one morning, death come creeping in my room. Whoa, so one morning, death come creeping in my room. So one morning, death come creeping in my room. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? I'm so glad trouble don't last always. Oh, I'm so glad trouble don't last always. I'm so glad trouble don't last always. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? 3 days later, James Bevel and Andrew Young carried me, half conscious, to the doctor. I looked so horrible I couldn't let my folks see me for not 3 months. My eye and kidney never did get right. While we was in jail, George Wallace stood on the schoolhouse steps to block integration at the University of Alabama. President Kennedy spoke up. If an American, because of the color of his skin, cannot eat in a restaurant open to the public,
cannot send his children to the best public schools available, cannot live the full and free life we all desire, then who among us would be willing to stand in his place? A great change is at hand. Our duty, our obligation is to make that revolution peaceful. Those who do nothing are inviting shame as well as violence. That same night, June 12, 1963, a single round from a high-powered rifle killed Medgar Evers in his front yard. Murderer Byron D. LeBeck went free. Nina Simone wrote her dynamic song, Mississippi Goddamn. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn! Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn! Can't you see it? Can't you feel it? It's all in the air. I can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi. Goddamn! Don't tell me, I'll tell you. Me and my people just about do. I've been there, so I know. You keep on saying, go slow, go slow. But that's just the trouble. Too slow, desegregation. Too slow, unification. Too slow, mass participation. Too slow to do things gradually. Too slow will bring more crime tragedy. Why don't you see it? Why don't you hear it? I don't know. I don't know. You don't have to live next to me. Just give me my equality. 'Cause everybody knows about Mississippi. Everybody knows about Alabama. Everybody knows about Mississippi. God damn! That's it. All this caused President Kennedy to introduce his new civil rights bill. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. decided on a march on Washington to show support. 250,000 people come. 60,000 was white. Dr. King made his famous speech, I have a dream. The day was peaceful. 18 days later, a bomb ripped through the 16th Street Baptist Church. 4 little girls were brutally murdered. Black folks took to the street. Some was attacking the police with sticks and bricks. The police had guns. 2 months after that march on Washington, which was 6 months after President Kennedy had spoke up for civil rights, in Dallas, Texas, he was shot and killed. Oh, beautiful, for pure heroes prove in liberating strife, who more than self thy country love, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy goal refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. still preached nonviolence. But more and more, black folks wanted to fight back. Mikasa Willie Rick's notion of black power was catching on. Young folks was chanting, beep, beep, bang, bang, Ungawa, black power, beep, beep, bang, bang, Mgawa, black power, beep, beep, bang, bang, Ungawa, black power. The government was making small concessions, but we could not rest. We had to keep the nation's attention focused on Mississippi. Summer 1964, we started bringing in young, white student volunteers. We told them about the danger and they should leave if they was afraid. We thought the white children would not be brutalized. Corps members Andrew Goodman, Mickey Smyrna, and James Chaney was arrested and disappeared. Just days before the Democratic National Convention, their bodies was found buried in the trench. Smyrna and Chaney's folks wanted to bury their sons side by side. Mississippi refused. Like his schoolhouse, church, libraries, and picture show, cemeteries in Mississippi were segregated, much like they are today. At the Democratic National Convention, the integrated Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party challenged the all-white party. Our goal was to be seated as the legal representative of Mississippi. I was co-chair. On national television, I talked about life in Mississippi. The violence, that brutal beating, and that's why I'm known to jail. If the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America? The land of the free and the home of the brave. Well, our lives are threatened daily because we want to live as decent human beings. President Lyndon Baines Johnson had the networks to cut me off. But the people had heard enough. From all over, telegrams of support come. Johnson's compromise was to offer us 2 seats. We refused. We ain't come all this way for no 2 seats when all us is tired, and we sick and tired of being sick and tired. The delegation approved his compromise. They would not recognize us. I cried, not for myself, but for America. America, America, got men down every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. SNCC radicals such as Stokely Carmichael saw this as proof. The whole system was corrupt. More and more, they challenged the leadership of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They wanted freedom at any cost. If they had to die, they wanted to die fighting. Though one thing we did wrong, stayed in the wilderness far too long. Paul and Silas down in jail, but nobody to go their bail. So the first thing we did
started to fight. Keep your eye on the prize. Hold on. Young man, what you doing back there? December 1964, I stood on stage at the Audubon Theater with our shining prince, Brother Malcolm X. He say I was the country's #1 freedom fighting woman. 2 months later, on that same stage, before his wife and children, he was gunned down by brothers. And we sing a little bit for Brother Malcolm. Just a closer walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee, just a closer walk with, y'all can't sing. Just a closer walk with thee. Through this world of tall and snares, a closer walk with thee. Just a closer walk with thee. If I falter, Lord, who cares? Just a closer walk with thee. Who will all my sorrow share? None but thee, dear Lord. None but just a closer walk with thee. 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 Grant it, my Lord, if you please. Just a closer walk with thee. Let it just a closer walk with thee. About a month or so later, SCLC decided on a 54-mile march from Selma to Montgomery to focus national attention on the violence of this country. On the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Hosea Williams, John Lewis, and 600 marchers was brutalized by state troopers on horseback. Oh, they tell me they rode them horses all up in the church house. They called it Bloody Sunday. When Viola Liuzzu, a white Detroit housewife, saw footage on television, she drove her old Oldsmobile for 3 days to join the demonstration. She was chased by the Ku Klux Klan at speeds up to 100 miles an hour and shot twice in the face. When my feeble life is oh so close to walk with thee, just a closer walk with thee. Time for me won't be no more. Guide me gently, safely home to thy shore, to thy kingdom, just a closer walk with thee. About a few weeks after that first attempt, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led 3,000 marchers across that same bridge. When they got to Montgomery 5 days later, there was 25,000 marchers from all over, all walks of life. This was the last massive act of unity between black and white, radical and moderate. In '64, there had been riots in Chicago, Harlem, and Philadelphia. In '65, riots broke out in Los Angeles. In '66, the Black Panther Party was founded in Oakland.
it was needed. December 4th, 1969, Illinois Panther Chairman Fred Hampton, age 21, was brutally murdered by Chicago police. Even Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. could not escape the violence that was shaking America. April 4th, 1967, in a speech in New York City, he challenged America. If America continues to make nonviolent protest possible, she is making violent revolution inevitable. I hate to say it, but America is the #1 perpetrator of violence in the world today. 1 year to the date. You hear me? 1 year to the day. April 4th, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, he was shot and killed. The whole country erupted, and Nina Simone sang. Once upon this planet Earth lived a man of humble birth, preaching love and freedom for his fellow man. He was dreaming of the day peace would come to earth to stay, and he spread the message all across the land. Turn the other cheek, he'd plead, love thy neighbor was his creed. Pain, humiliation, death, he did not dread. With his Bible at his side, from his foes he did not hide. And it's hard to think that this great man is dead. He was for equality for all people, you and me. Full of love and goodwill, hate was not his way. He was not a violent man. Tell me if you can, why was he shot down the other day? Will the murders never cease? Are they men or are they beasts? What do they ever hope to gain? Will my country fall, stand or fall? Is it too late for us all? And did Martin Luther King just die in vain? 'Cause he'd sing the mountain top, and he knew he could not stop. Always living with the threat of death ahead. Folks, you better stop and think, for we're headed for the brink. What can happen now that the King of Love is dead? I know that we are running late, but I have one more thing that I need to share with you. I am very, very disturbed by what is going on in this country in the streets as far as, more specifically, young black men.
And I know that I'm not the only one that's disturbed. I know that this is not a new phenomenon. We Africans have been brutalized since we were brought here. The MO has changed. Where they used to lynch our young men, they now shoot them down in the street and they let them lay there until they die. The most recent assault has been the stripping of the Jackie Robinson Youth League of their title, stripping them of their coaches and their father figures. Many of them have no fathers. And so I usually sing another song, but I have been singing this song for all people, for my young black men. I'd like you to help me. Every time you hear me say "in the ghetto," I want you to repeat after me and I want you to sing it. All right? On a cold and gray Chicago morn, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cried. 'Cause if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? The child needs a helping hand, or he'll grow to be an angry young man someday. Take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Or do we simply turn our heads and look the other way as the world turns? And a hungry little boy with a runny nose plays in the street while the cold wind blows in the ghetto. And his hunger burns. So he starts to roam the streets at night. He learns how to steal and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Then one night in desperation, the young man breaks away, buys a gun, steals a car, tries to run, but he don't get far, and his mama cries. As a crowd gathers round an angry young man, face down in the street with a gun in his hand, in the ghetto. And as her young man dies, on a cold and gray Chicago morn, another little baby child is born in the ghetto. In the ghetto. In the ghetto. In the ghetto. And his mama cried. Thank you.